Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I told him he was just my backup plan. I even laughed when I said it, thinking it was harmless, the kind of silly, throwaway joke couples toss around without meaning anything. But the moment the words slipped out of my mouth, everything shifted. Not slowly, instantly. It was like someone opened a door in the dead of winter and let a wall of freezing wind sweep through the room. His face didn't change much, but something behind his eyes did, a quiet flicker of hurt I didn't recognize until he stood up, left the room and didn't return for a long time. We'd been together for 4 years. Not perfect years but steady ones. Safe ones. Warm ones. He was the kind of man who didn't just listen to what you said, he remembered it. Who didn't just tell you he loved you, he proved it in small, constant ways. In late-night cups of tea, in tired back rubs, in the notes he left on the bathroom mirror telling me I was beautiful on days I couldn't see it myself. He never did grand, showy gestures. But he showed up every single day. And that night, we were just sitting on the floor of our tiny living room, sharing leftover pizza and half paying attention to some dating show on Netflix. The type where contestants rank each other openly like it's nothing. I glanced at him and said, honestly, if things with Alex hadn't fallen through, I don't think I would have given you a chance. You were kind of my backup. I expected him to laugh. He didn't. I tried to brush it off, told him I was kidding, even forced a smile. But I already knew I'd crossed a line I couldn't pretend wasn't there. He stood up without a word and disappeared into the bedroom. I stayed on the floor with a slice of pizza in my hand, waiting for him to come back out so I could patch things up, explain, soften the blow. But the door stayed shut. Hours later, I heard the suitcase wheels dragging across the floor. What are you doing? I asked, jumping up, my voice cracking with panic. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't accuse me of anything. He just said quietly but firmly, I never wanted to be someone's second option. And if you meant what you said even a little, then everything changes. I tried to reach for him, babbled apologies, told him I hadn't meant it, that it was a stupid attempt at humor. But he wasn't absorbing any of it. He simply nodded, turned around and walked out the door. I sat back down on the floor, staring at the cold pizza and the empty space where he'd been. The silence in the room felt like punishment. I waited for my phone to light up. It didn't. The entire night passed with me staring at the ceiling, replaying every memory, every conversation, every moment where maybe, unknowingly, I had made him feel less valued than he made me feel. The worst part was realizing how rarely I had actually told him what he meant to me. I assumed he knew. I believed my affection was obvious. But one careless sentence had rewritten everything. The next morning I called him. Straight to voicemail. I texted him long messages, poured out everything I should have said years ago, that he was my first choice, that Alex was nothing but a wrong turn, that he had been the first real thing in my life that ever made sense. He didn't respond. Days went by. Mutual friends didn't know where he was. One guessed he might have gone to stay with family upstate, but no one was sure. He disappeared the same way he did most things. Calmly, quietly, decisively. I cried harder than I ever had in my life. Not dramatic sobbing, but the kind that drains you until you're empty. I stayed home. Stopped checking my phone. Stopped pretending to function. His jacket still hung by the door. His mug still sat by the sink. His scent still clung to the pillow on his side of the bed. But the worst part wasn't the missing pieces he left behind. It was knowing he had imagined a future with me, while I made him feel like he was just the safety net. Months later, I wrote him a letter. Not to send, I didn't know where he even was, but because I needed to put every truth down somewhere. Every apology. Every regret. Every feeling I'd buried under humor and sarcasm. I keep that letter in a box with our photos, ticket stubs, and the old notes he used to leave me. Sometimes I read it again, not to torture myself, but to remind myself how fragile love can be when we take it for granted. I don't know if he'll ever forgive me. I don't even know if I cross his mind anymore. But he crosses mine every single day. And if life ever gives me a second chance with him, even the smallest one, I won't joke. I won't try to sound playful or clever. I'll just tell him the truth I should have said long before that night. You were never my second choice. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.